Thank you for joining. I'm Elvin. I'm the CEO of Dr. Wealth. And for those who don't know us, we are a financial education company, and we have been doing a lot of courses. And there's more focus about on investments, right? DIY investment, especially whether is it in stocks or using various methods like fundamental analysis or even technical analysis, right? And today we're not going to talk about our courses or education. We are going to focus on our app, which we are officially launching it today. So thank you again for joining us, and I'm excited to share with you what we have got for you with this new tool. And most of all, is most importantly, is free, right? So make use of it as much as you can. And I want to share a little bit about why this idea came about, so they have a better understanding why this is created, and also some of the features that we put inside. Okay, and because I'm a stock investor myself, right, and I do have a lot of kind of issues when I go about doing stock investing research, and you, a lot of these features came out because I want to solve some of these problems. So I'm not sure about you. Maybe you also face the same problem as me, and this app should be able to resolve some of these issues that you have encountered. Okay, so let me briefly go through the background. Okay, the first thing is that the good news is internet has given stock investors like ourselves a lot of information that's out there, right? And a lot of information are quality information are already free. Okay, uh, let's forget about all those fake news, right? It comes together with quality information as well. The only problem is that because the internet is so huge, right, and the information is very scattered. So for example, if let's say I want to look at some financial metrics of a stock, right? I want to find out what's the PE ratio or the price to book ratio or the ROE, etc. I would need to go to various websites to find, right? Because some websites may have certain metrics that I want to see, but they may not have all that I want or I need. And I probably need to go to a few websites just to find out some of these figures. And of course, the figures, different sites may have different dates, and you have to reconcile a lot of all these things by yourself. Okay, so that was one of the challenges that I faced, right? Number one. And then number two is that I use stock screeners quite extensively because that's how I generate my initial trade ideas. And the issue is that stock screener, a lot of the ones that are available are limited in their functions, right? As in, they may not have whatever you want to screen. Okay. Another problem is that sometimes when I come across certain strategies, they are being shared in books or in videos, etc. Like for example, the magic formula. Okay, that's by Joel Greenblatt. But it's almost impossible to use a stock screener to do the screening, right? Even though the criteria isn't very difficult, but somehow it's so challenging to just find a screener that can give you a magic formula, right? And those that can do it, you have to pay for them, and it's not cheap. Some of them can be like $500-600 a year, and it doesn't make sense. You just want to screen for one thing, right? And you don't need 90% of the other things. So that also become like a stumbling block, right? So the stock screener become a white elephant most of the time, right? That most people don't use it, but it can be very powerful if you can have a proper tool to help you screen for ideas. And the third thing is financial news as well. We have a lot of like local news outlet that help us keep abreast of the developments of our local stocks. And the problem is that if you later I'll show you the screenshot, okay, of all some of this news outlet, is that you have to probably out of that 10 news, right? You are only concerned about one, but you have to go through the other nine, and it sort of like suck up your time, right? So it makes you it suck up a lot of your capacity to just monitor your stock. And I understand that that is one of the reasons why a lot of people end up stop monitoring the stocks. That, yeah, with so much time, and after I read, I also don't get what I want. So we become from those teletext period, right, where my parents used to look at stocks, right, to now internet is full of information. So we are now in a period where we are overwhelmed by information. It's not a lack of information. Okay, so that become a issue about these things. And the another area of important analysis will come from sell side analysts, right? The brokers may issue some of these research reports, and financial bloggers may also sometimes analyze and break down the stocks information. And I also find that a lot of the investors out there, before they buy a stock, right, they always want to have, they like to look at what other people are thinking about through their writings, right? So they usually will go and peruse the analyst report or even read the financial blogs to get some ideas, right? Whether did they miss any points before they buy a stock, okay? And then again, you need to go to many websites just to retrieve information about the same stock. So we think that is very inefficient, okay? And of course, there can be company announcements that are directly being broadcast through the stock exchange, as well as the annual reports that they published. So all these are also crucial information before you will want to buy a stock, right? You want to really look through them and make sure that things are okay before you press the buy button. All right. So I would say that the information are all out there. The problem is they're all over the place, and when they're all over the place, it sucks up a lot of your time and capacity just to find all this information by yourself. All right. So this is one of the major problems that I personally face too. Okay, so as I share with you, news feed can be very noisy. If you go to like even our local papers website, right, you just go and look at you are only concerned about business news, for example, and you go and open the business section, right, and you go and see the titles, and then you realize that, oh, actually, I don't have all these stocks, right? I don't have JD, I don't have SPH, for example, right? Then you're just showing me all these events or this news that I don't care about, right? So I have to swipe through and try to find what is relevant to me, okay? And when maybe you follow certain news outlet via your Facebook, you also will be bombarded with a lot of like advertisements, etc. So it's just very noisy, right? The information environment is so noisy that you after a while, right, there are more noise than signals that you're trying to read about the staying abreast of the market. Okay, I'm sure you guys have this problem as well. Okay, so when we talk about metrics, again, there are a lot of financial websites out there that shows you like a lot of fundamental data or even technical data, charts, etc. Right. The problem is that again, I'm overwhelmed by the information. It's not a lot of information. Okay, so when you go to the website, right, maybe website A, I only need two metrics out of that 100 they show me, and I need to like use my eyes to go and screen for it. Oh, maybe I want a PEG ratio, right? Because another site doesn't have PEG ratio. That's why I came for this site to look for PEG. Then maybe I want ROE, right? Then I take a look. Where's ROE? ROE is here, right? So I need to like really scan through, and probably 90% of the metrics that are shown to me, right, are not what I need. And it's like I just get overwhelmed by all these things, and they just fix this view for everybody. And I know that everybody's investment style can be different, right? For maybe one person, free cash flow is important, but to another person, it's not important. But to every investor, a lot of all these websites just show the same ratios. Okay, they assume that it's just there, like go and find yourself, right? It's free. What do you ask for, right? What else do you want to ask for? So again, we have to do a lot of manual work just to sift through the noise to get to the signal, right? And I shared a little bit about the screener just now already. And the issue is, as I said, most of them are customized screener, right? There's nothing wrong being a customized screener, right? Some people like that liberty and the freedom, okay? But sometimes, if let's say you want to do a very strategy based kind of a screening, it's almost impossible to use a generic screener that's available in the internet. So with all these issues, and that is how we came up with this app idea. All right. So for a start, these are the three things that we want to help investor solve. Okay, the first is to discover trade ideas. All right, so we will provide you with strategy screens. Okay, that is already, you just need one click and the stocks that pass this strategy will all be surfaced. So you don't even need to like think about what to click, because I can tell you a lot of beginners, you give them a stock screener, they don't even know what metrics or what criteria to use, right? So this will make it a lot more convenient. Okay, and the second thing is that you get to customize the stock news. Okay, in the sense that you generate list of stocks that you want to follow, right? And then we will only show you the news or the analysis based on the list of stocks that you have, and then we'll clear out all those that you don't care about. Okay, so that is how we want to really help you focus on the signals, right, and get rid of all the noise. Okay, and the last one is to let you customize the stock metrics. We have over 50 stock metrics, but we are not going to show you everything. Okay, because we know that you likely won't use all 50, so you get to pick what you want. Okay, you get to customize what you want, and we will only show those stock metrics that you care about. So this is how the app is designed. As you can see, the problem is that we have too much information that's out there. So we live in a tech era. A lot of things can be customized to the individual level. So which means your screens will be different from everybody else, every other investors out there, right? You'll be very different from them, and it's fine, okay, because that is the way that you invest. All right, and no one can tell you that, oh, you must look at this, you must look at that. Okay, if you want to tweak or tweak some of these metrics along the way, you can customize them again anytime you want. So I will just do a quick demo. Okay, I'll just do a quick demo so that you can have a sense how it works. All right, and then I'll also let you have the link to the website, okay, to the app, so that you can download it for yourself as well. And just to make sure that you can see my screen, because I just changed screen, if it can, then just please type yes before I carry on. All right. Okay. I see some questions. I will probably answer them later. Okay. Right. You guys can see. Okay, great. So I will carry on. Right. So this is the search screen that that you can see, right, on your screen itself. And currently we cover all the Asians market. Okay, we cover the Asian market. So you can see over here, Shanghai, Shenzhen, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Japan, South Korea, Malaysia, New Zealand, Philippines, Singapore, Taiwan, Thailand, and Vietnam. Okay, so all the Asian markets we will be providing all the data. All right, we will of course talk about other markets later. Okay, so you can search standard stuff, whether is it by name of the company or is it by the stock code. Okay, either way works. All right, so when you click on the stock, and the data of the stock will come out. Okay, so this is where you can standard stuff, right? The stock chart itself. Okay, these are common things that you can probably see in any websites out there. The more unique area is this part, right? The financial metrics. As I shared with you just now, because everybody investment style may be different. Okay, so this is the highlight. You to customize your favorite metrics. All right, so you customize on the favorite metrics. So you can see there are over 50 ratios out here. You can even search for them. Maybe you want EV, EBIT, enterprise value over EBIT. Okay, so you can search for them, and you can even click on the I part. Okay, so that you can see what's the explanation of this ratio and also the formula that's behind it. And let's say I want this, and maybe I want ROE, for example, or it's already selected. ROA probably as well. Okay, maybe I want to see free cash flow, right? Price over free cash flow. Okay, so I select over here. Okay, so I can do quite a few things. All right, and let me see what I selected. So I selected over 9 metrics over here out of 50. Okay, Maybe for example, I just want debt to equity. I don't need that ratio, so I can close it. Maybe revenue per employee sounds interesting. All right. So that's how you can also screen through, right? Maybe quality of earnings is important, okay, for me, right? So I can just choose all these things, right? So you have free reins how you want to choose this, how you want to customize. So everybody get to choose what you like and not be restricted and forced to look through 50 stock ratio that is just time wasting for you. And then just click done, and you will be able to see the metrics that you have chosen. Okay, so every stocks you go to, you will show you this set of metrics. Okay, and it's important to if you want to save this set of metrics that you have chosen, right? It's important to create an account and log in. Okay, then you can save this metric, because otherwise we won't be able to save it for you if you didn't log in and then you just leave the site and then you come back another time, it will refresh itself. Okay, so this is an important part. Otherwise, you have to keep customizing. Okay, and another thing is that there's also a trend over here. You can see the spark line. Okay, and you can click at more detail. So let's say the P ratio. We also show you the trend over the past 5 years, how this PE ratio has run. So you can see, like for DBS, it was 9, P9 to a point that it was P15, and then now it's PE5. It's like probably the lowest PE in the past 5 years, right? It does look a little bit relatively cheap compared to its history. And we also give you the raw numbers over here. Okay, so you can see what was the PE and how it was calculated and what was used, right? So the formula is also below. Okay, so you can see the how it was based on share price divided by the diluted earnings per share in this case. Okay, and then the share price is based on the last close of that year, right? The last closing price of the year. So you can see how it was calculated as well. All right, so it is meant to be user friendly. Okay, and you can click on any of this ratio. All right, you can click on any of this ratio, even the dividend yield as well. You can see the trend. All right, the yield has been going up. Okay, and how the dividend yield is calculated as well. The raw numbers are all presented over here. Okay, right. So you can play around with all these things. All right, with the metrics out there. Okay, most importantly is the customization. Okay, so if let's say you find that there are ratios that are not there, all right, you can actually request, right? You can write to us, and we will compile and see what are the common ones that are missing, and we will add them in as well. Okay. And let me just go through some other things. Right, the rest of the information are pretty standard. Okay, if you don't want, you can just compress them. Okay, there's also like company info, which are pretty standard. Who is the CEO? How many employees they have? These are simple data. And also, if let's say you want to look at their company website more or contact their investor relation, the data are all there as well. All right, and you can also compare similar stocks they will suggest over here. So you can just click, and then you can see the stock, and based on the metrics that you have already chosen, right? So everything will be there after you have created an account and you save it. Okay, and you can see the other tabs over here, right? So you have news. Okay, so this is where all the news that are talking about UOB, this UOB in this case, U11, right? That's the stock code. The news will appear here. So you can just, instead of searching on Google or whatever, you can just scan through, right? What are the important news that people are talking about when it comes to this stock? Okay. Right. Can you guys still hear me? Because some of you have said that the video is hanged. Okay. I'm moving my mouse. Can you guys see? If it's just a few of you, maybe you just click the reconnect, and you should be able to connect again. If majority are okay, I will just carry on. All right. Okay. So you guys can see. Okay. Can. So there's also a filter over here. You can see. All right. That you can we track like news, we track like announcements, we track like blogs, etc. All right, so you can even choose announcements are what they made officially to the exchange. All right, and you can also look at blogs, whoever talk about UOB, for example. Okay. Oh, all right. Of course, we have to show ours as well. Okay, and you can just choose default is all articles. All right, and there's also this analysis. Okay, so we also try to differentiate between news and analysis. So this is where if let's say any research or sell side research, right, has been talking about the banks, you can see, or OCBC talk about UOB, right, or actually the three banks. Right? You can also read their research papers. Okay, so they're sorry, they're sell side reports, not their research paper. Right, we also put in the analyst name, right, the authors, right, who actually wrote this. Okay. So you can play around as well, right? So we just want to make things convenient. As you can see, everything I won't say everything. I say most things that you need to gather information about the stocks, it should be there together. Okay. And let's look at the financials. All right. So again, we also show you the past 5 years of the financial data. Okay. You can see in terms of quarter, or you can see in terms of annual figures as well. Okay. All right. So you can see that these are the annual figures. Okay. We show you the past 5 years, right? You can toggle between annual or quarterly. Okay, so that's where you want to dig deeper into the statements. All right, so the stock page are as such, and most importantly, as I said, the crucial thing is you get to customize so that you get to see the data that you need. And I would say that they are quite good advanced data that's here, right? Like EV/EBIT, probably a lot of websites they won't show you unless you pay for a quality data site. Okay, so these are the things that you get to see. Okay, and you can search again, right? Like overseas stocks as well. Maybe we search. Okay, yeah. Today we just talk about this multi-stock, right? So you can also put into your watch list. Okay, again, you need to have an account with to log in, and so that we can save this watch list for you, right? So you can also look at overseas stocks too. Okay, and these are the figures out there. Wow, one employee can make 2.8 million revenue. Wow, that's fantastic. Okay, so let you discover a lot of the foreign stocks as well, right? Because we also know that sometimes a particular website only let you look at but one country, right, instead of multiple countries or multiple stock exchange. Okay, so currently we cover the Asian markets. All right. And that is the stock pages only. Okay, we still have a lot of things to go through, right? So I'll talk about the watch list first. Okay, so currently we only have one watch list, but of course we intend to add more watch lists for you, right? But I think for a start, to play around, you can just create this watch list. All right, so you can create watch lists of different exchanges. You can add them together. Doesn't matter. Okay, and we will show you the changes, the daily change. Okay, because we only do end of day prices, right, for now, right? So these are the if you put the stocks like this 26 stock in this watch list, right? So what will happen is that the feed, okay, you can see there's a feed over here. Okay, just let it load. So all the you can see from your watch list. All right, so these are the news, announcement, analysis, blogs, or whenever anyone talk about the stocks that you care about will be presented here, almost like a Facebook feed. Okay, almost like a Facebook feed. So you can take a look at all these news, and of course you can click on them to read more. Okay, and the stock that sometimes the articles or the report can state more than one counter, right? So then the stocks that are being talked about in the article will show here. So it's OCBC and UOB in this case. Okay, so you can also follow some of the news sources. All right, beyond just watch list news. Okay, so you currently we only put up a few first. All right, we haven't put up everything. Okay, but we have the common ones like the Age, Business Times, SGX itself. SGinvestor.io has compiled a lot of research report, right? So we also make it available over here. Okay, so we'll add more over time, including overseas news outlet as well, so you can get all the things that you need in your on your fingertip. Okay, and you can just carry on with the watch list. All right, you can also filter out. Maybe I will just want to look at announcements. Okay, so you can just filter the announcements, and only the announcement feed will come out. Okay, or you can filter. Or I want to maybe look at blogs or analyst report. Right, then you can just filter out. Okay, so it's up to you how you want to digest your information. Right, there's also a top news. So these are news or articles that are most read by others. All right, okay, that you care about as well. Okay, so then it will appear over here. Right, so you can also get a sense of what people are following. Okay, so this is quite simple because we are very used to this kind of social media feed, right? So I think this kind of navigation is quite easy to use. You should not have an issue understanding this. All right. Okay. I know you have questions. Let me address them at the end. I'll just carry on. All right. So there's this discover screen. Okay. This is where I talk about the stock screening, but they are the rules are being predefined already. All right. So you can just currently we have 6 screens. Okay. And how I break them up is that there's a dividend one. Right. I just call it build passive income. There's a growth stock section, and then there's a value section. Okay. You should cover most styles of investors out there. Okay. And you can screen for multiple. You can screen for multiple exchanges, as you can see. All right. So maybe you want to screen for Singapore, maybe you want to screen for Japan, Hong Kong, for example. Okay. Then just can click done. You can screen a lot of multiple markets at once. So how do you download the app? It is a web app first of all. Okay. So we don't publish it in the App Store in Apple. We also don't publish it in the Google Play Store. And there are a lot of advantages, right? And one of it is that we don't need to maintain so many different kind of apps. We just need to maintain a web version, but you can experience it like a normal app. Okay, and how do you do that? Right, is that you open your browser, okay, and then you type in this URL, app.drwolf.com. Okay, and when you do that, okay, when you do that, then at your browser you try to locate this add to home screen. Okay, you should be able to see this add to home screen. Right, if you use Android, right, you use Chrome. Okay, you will be able to save it to your home screen. Then you appear like an app in your home screen, and you will just you can just stay logged in. Okay, once and for all. Okay, once you are download this to your home screen. If let's say you're using Apple, what we experienced so far is that you have to use Safari. Okay, the Safari browser in order for you to add to home screen. Somehow, if you use Chrome in your iPhone, you cannot add to home screen. Okay, so you have to use Safari, right? But either way works lah. Okay, so then you can work like an app. All right, so you don't download it from the App Store or the Play Store. Okay, you have to just add to home screen using your browser. Yes, this is free. All right, and it's free. Just go and play around, and if you have any trouble or whatever, you can also email us. Okay, our support for this app is support@drwealth.com.